Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of whatever this is called,
Insert here.
where we discuss and review some classic idol albums. I'm Boy, as always, and I'm joined by Tron. What's up, man?
What's up? Doing good?
Josh is here.
Hey, everyone.
And RJ, what's good?
Yo, hello.
Hello. Yeah, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about the first album of the colorful weekend heroines, Momoiro Clover Z. It's called Battle and Romance. So yeah, Battle and Romance first album. This is also the first for a lot of things, Momoiro Clover, right? This is they changed their name. They added a Z or Z, I guess, after Momoiro Clover, because cool things have a Z after, like Mazinger Z, Dragon Ball Z. So yeah, Momoiro Clover Z, dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, also they went back to not six. They were six members.
Knocked it down to 5.
Hayami Akari left right before they dropped this album. So,
Which is interesting. There's some songs in here that kind of like make reference to it, right?
yeah.
We can talk about later. So it's interesting.
So Momoiro Clover. This album was released 2011. So it's kind of before a lot of things, I guess, when idols kind of blew up in Japan, right? Or the warring states really started. And they were pretty unique compared to a lot of the, I guess, traditional Orthodox idols, right? They had the colors, which wasn't unique to them. I mean, like other idol groups have like, oh, the member's color is this, but it wasn't like heavily emphasized like Momoclo colors were, right?
Yeah, you saw a little bit of Morning Musume. You still do, I should say, but like they're different colors.
Yeah, like they have colors, but it's not like something that they, I don't want to say advertise, but like Boy's saying, like they straight up just wear, like they're always in their color. But Morning Musume, it's just like their mics or whatever, and then like if you buy light sticks or merch of like a certain member, it'll probably be that color. But
I remember when Akari left, I referred to her as I remember when Blue left, not Akari, because I just referred to her as like I remember when the Blue member left. So yeah, it's very prevalent how much the color system is relied on.
To me, they were kind of the one that started it, I guess.
yeah,
So and it it reflects on this release and on the album's like visuals and everything, right? They take a lot of like Super Sentai, Power Ranger, like influences, right? Like they do with a bunch of things, I think they're one of the most like theatrical and like based performances, right? They take inspiration from like pro wrestling and like action TV shows and all these different things and just like incorporate it into their style,
Right.
which I think is really cool. It sets them apart from a lot of other groups, and not just like traditional idol groups, but more like alternative idol groups too. So, and I guess this album is really the first exposure to many, I guess.
Is this the first time you guys listen to this, or is this like a return to this?
This is a classic.
Well, this is a first listen for me.
Oh,
really?
Like I'm a fan of the recent stuff and everything, but I haven't really gone back and like listened to like their original stuff. So this is really interesting to see.
It's when they were still babies, they were still all in high school. They were still the weekend heroines then. Now no longer, but
Now they're full-fledged heroes.
yes, exactly.
They're just all week heroines.
Full-time job.
Let's start talking about the songs then. So I mentioned earlier they take a lot of inspiration from like Sentai and like Japanese action TV shows, right? And it shows a lot in a few of the tracks. Like the opening track, Z Densetsu, right? It's straight up like an opening to some classic Japanese TV type things, right?
Or it even has the narrator.
What do you guys think of like this kind of idol song, I guess?
No, I liked it a lot. It's a great intro. One of the better intro songs for an album, I think. This is their first album, and like the opening first song is kind of like introducing each member and kind of like opening to like a Power Rangers song, right? Or a side song. So I think it's a pretty strong opening. Kind of get a flavor of each member and them introducing themselves and stuff like that. So no, it was a really good one.
Yeah, I think for this song, I especially like the chorus of it. Like in the beginning, it's a little too like idol singing for me, but then like later on, as the song develops and you hear the chorus part, I really start grooving to it.
I think that's a trend on a lot of the songs in this album.
Yeah.
The chorus sections are like really good. The melodies are very good, and so it like brings it in, like for the whole song. Bring it back to what Tron was mentioning earlier about Akari or Blue. This song they have like their calls, right? He's like red, and then whoever's red would sing, right? Or like green, and then she would sing a line, and then they get to blue, and they're just like Right? It's like, oh wait, she's not here anymore.
I like how they acknowledge that.
Yeah, like they don't take themselves too seriously. So
Yeah, the other track that's kind of in the style is their major label debut single, right? Ikuze Kaitou Shoujo.
Oh, like I think of Momoclo, I think of this song. This is like their.
it's probably one of the most iconic. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think this is really like their sound, right? Like when you hear this song.
To me, like Ikuze Kaitou Shoujo and Z Densetsu, like when you think of like the Momoclo sound, to me it's like it's those kind of songs. It's those two songs and songs like them. It's just like the Momoclo sound, like like we were saying, the hyperactive kind of almost like story driven kind of song almost, or like there's like come like a gimmick behind it, right?
Yeah, that's the tracks I like the most.
Yeah, probably easily my two favorite tracks on the album.
'Cause I really enjoy all those like little call outs and stuff. There's like Henshin, they like that you can get into also while listening to it or like while watching him perform and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a Woda mix, right? It's like part of the song.
I think a lot of that has to do with Hyadain, because those are both Hyadain produced tracks, and I think a lot of the tracks that are kind of iconic of that Momoclo sound or that feel that you're mentioning, probably most likely are produced by Hyadain, because that's kind of just his style, right? It's a controlled chaos.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It doesn't lose you, right? You can keep up with like the crazy stuff in the arrangement. So
is you guys' favorite too? Or is there one that tops it for you guys?
It's probably my favorite.
Those two are top three for me. There's one other one that would probably be
Top two for me. Probably top two, top three. Yeah, but definitely high on the list for one of my favorite. Not just this album, but Momoclo songs in general.
Oh, really?
Discography. Oh yeah, this is so good.
You guys have seen this group live, right?
yes.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm the only one who hasn't. That was a year before I got into Idol, so.
Quick story on this. So when I was in Japan in 2010, my first trip to Japan, I actually had an opportunity to see them live in this small CD shop in Akihabara.
Their CD release live.
Yeah, the CD.
Like that, right?
So this is like November to September 2010. Had the opportunity to see them live. Probably would have got like super close, like two checkies and all that kind of stuff, because there's probably like less than 40 people in there. Me and David were trying to find the album shop, and we couldn't find it in Akihabara. It took us like half hour, and we were late to go see a Morning Musume Rival Survival concert later that evening somewhere outside of Tokyo. And I was like, at the time, really hardcore, like, I don't know who this group is. This group is probably going to disband in 2 years. Because at the time, I had no idea who they were. David knew about them because he's in the indie idols, and like the up and comers. I had no idea who this group was, and I was just like, let's just dip out, man, and let's just dip. Like, and we finally found the CD shop. We were on the other side of the wall. We couldn't figure out how to get inside, but we could hear the music playing on the other side of the wall.
Oh no!
That's how close we were.
Hitting the wall. So where is it?
I'm just like, David, let's just get back to the JR, dude. Like, I need to see my Morning Musume, because this is like my one and only chance of. This is my first time seeing Morning Musume live for the first time. This is during the Pandas and Kame Aries like graduation tour. So I was like, gotta go. So I was super close to seeing them live, but got redemption during AX a couple years ago. But
Yeah, that's when I saw them initially. It was really fun. Like as far as idol concerts go, the times I saw Momoclo was like the best. I think like my favorites. Some of my favorites idol concerts. They're just really known to be really good live.
yeah, that's their thing. Their live
The
concerts
show
are
they
amazing.
like the theatrics and like the crazies like their annual summer one. Usually like one of the biggest like the Tojinsai, right? And it's like a bunch of people on stage and like all this crazy stuff. Yeah, it was fun. It's just cool to like be with all the other Momoclo fans and like it's like a bunch of colors, right? Because everyone's just repping their Oshi colors, so they wear the same color, right? So I was gonna mention that the album that we're reviewing is the regular version.
There's a lot of versions out there.
The 12 tracks plus the bonus 13.
Not the solo songs.
Yeah, so we're not counting the solos because that's like an extra bonus CD, right, in the limited release. Also, the album on Spotify for some reason doesn't have Ikuze Kaitou Shoujo,
Which is
so
crazy.
It's a 12-track album.
It's the
on
best song of the
Spotify.
album.
I'm like, what? That's like one of their biggest songs. I don't understand.
It's their
What's going
debut
on?
single, and they don't have it in the album. I don't know what happened. Someone in Spotify, some intern.
And they don't have it in their English version or in the Japanese version. If you type in the names differently, like both of them aren't there.
I wonder if it's like a record thing. I don't know. That's interesting. Yeah.
I want to bring that up because, like going back to Z Densetsu and Kaitou Shoujo, there's another song that's like in that style, which is the last song, right? The bonus track.
Oh,
Yes.
Momoclo Nippon Banzai.
it's a really good song.
That's just like a super fun song. It's
Yeah.
talking about going all around Japan to the different prefectures, but then all they're doing is just talking about the food in the like that's there and stuff. So it's very in the same like style.
Also, Hyadain.
Yeah, and I like the how the members obviously are from different parts of Japan, right? And like Momoka, who's green, she's from Kyoto, right? And so she sings about all the
Kansai?
what is the region called?
Kansai?
Kansai region.
Kansai region?
Yeah, so she sings about all the like Osaka and Kyoto and like Hyogo, all the other Kansai regions, and then like Kanako is from Shizuoka, so she sings about like was that the Chubu region or wherever, right? They kind of like did it nicely with the lines and the parts that they sing.
Yeah, I think one thing that I liked from the song is the energy that it just gives out and gives you. Like it's like I put that in caps, the idol energy. It's like what you want to listen to idols for if you're into this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like full speed the whole song. right?
Yeah.
Love it.
It's like I imagine going to karaoke singing the song. By the end of it, you're like, all right, I need a break from this.
Balls to the wall.
Yeah. Like majority of Momoclo songs are like that, right? I mean, like you're just like the energy and just like how the pacing of all the songs and just like the like how RJ mentioned the controlled chaos of how the songs are composed. It's signature Momoclo that like I can see why certain like fans like probably like lose like 1,000 calories or more at concerts when they go to see them because they're just like following along with them, jumping along. Like we have a good friend from NSK, one of the co-founders, Daily, huge Momoclo fan. He traveled and did the tour in Japan, went to Hawaii twice, saw them in Hawaii, went to some like crazy mountainous area in Hokkaido, almost died because he didn't know how to get this.
So they do like the frantic and crazy stuff, but they also there's a bunch of different flavors in this album. They do a little bit more aggressive sound, and the song "Contradiction" right is like very like driving feel, kind of like that buzzy bass line that kind of leads the song. It's pretty cool.
I mean, it's good. I like the song having like right behind, like having the second song right behind one. This is keeping the energy up. Like, you go through the first intro, then bam, Contradiction comes in. It's like, all right, let's keep the energy going.
Yeah. I thought the exact same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good pacing. Like, and we talked about albums in the past, how sometimes the albums towards the middle to the end kind of like gets lost from our previous reviews. I think one thing I love about this album after listening to it again was just like how strong from 1 to 13 like everything was. There was really like nothing like I was like, all right, this is where they kind of slowed down. It was like they put like Kaitou Shoujo at number 10. It just actually was really interesting,
It's like there. To bring it back up towards the end,
Yeah, no, I liked it a lot.
And then finish it off strong with the last song, right?
Exactly. So like a really strong album overall in terms of how they select the track list and everything.
Though I do think with Kimi no Ato, I feel like that one did kind of bring it down a little bit. But then it kind of picks up in the song itself. So I feel like it isn't that much of a deterrent to it.
I'm not a fan of this kind of arrangement with idol songs, but I feel it's kind of a necessary track for the album to show that
they can do more than just the frantic energy. They can sing well too. It's because like for me, like it's a pretty song, but it's kind of boring and like.
I actually really like this song a lot.
To me, it's just like in the same vein as like what Boy's saying. It's like one of those things like, oh, we had to do a ballady type song just to do a ballady type song. So let's put this song out there. It's not terrible or anything, but range.
Yeah, their range, I guess. It has a nice melody.
It's not terrible, but I don't know.
Yeah, I wrote down for this one. I feel like I should like the song more than I actually do.
Yeah, exactly.
I like this song a lot. It's like one of the better ballad because I like ballad songs. Like I like R&B songs a lot. Outside of idol music, R&B and like ballad songs are like kind of like my jam. So I actually like this more than I thought I would because to Boy's point, like you have to put like a slow ballad song to kind of make add some variety. But this is one of the better ones I've heard.
I don't mind the tempo. It's just the arrangement.
I can see that.
Choice of instrumentation. That it's very like you've heard it already, kind of thing, right? So it's hard for it to differentiate from other tracks.
It's interesting. I didn't know that this song's written by the same people that wrote Ponytail no Shushu.
Oh, speaking of though, did you think Kono Uta sound like AKB? That's
oh yes,
like in the melody too, where it goes na 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 na. It's very AKB, right?
Yeah, this is a song that like I really like this one a lot. I like all the songs in this album, but this is one of the ones I really like too. This it's a song that, and it was funny. Like I was doing some research, and like this is a song would be a great song to end a concert, and apparently they sung a lot to end a concert.
Yeah,
so I was like, I wrote this down. Yeah, so this is really good.
It does.
That's why I thought it felt a lot like AKB. It has a like strong driving sound, and it's no surprise. Like Momoclo takes inspiration from a lot of different idol groups. AKB being one, obviously. Of course, now they do their own thing, right? But
yeah, especially in this album, like in 2010, 2012, like idols were really coming up, right? So, like song similarities were kind of in this period of time, like mimicking almost each other. AKB on the rise, Momoni Musume still, Hello Project still, pretty dominant. So the influences in this album from the other idol groups at this time made sense, and then towards the course of discography for Momoclo, it gets more interesting and like rock ballads and different things when you go towards farther along in the discography of Momoclo. But this particular album, starting off their first album, yeah, you get a lot of vibes from similar idol groups at the time.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wrote. It sounds like a lot of other idol songs around these years.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, because they're like all basing it off each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right, can I talk about my favorite song on here?
Ooh, what's your favorite song, Mr.
Go
Box?
ahead. What is your favorite song?
Wanito Shampoo.
Oh,
that's
it's a good one.
That's a good one. It's a great one
classic.
live. That's
That's
great
like
one live.
my favorite. It's made on my favorites list and everything. It's like you groove to it. The fast singing in it really fits in it. And then like I like it because like at moments like the singing is just like another instrument in the song, and I feel like it works out really well in the song.
I really like all the sections, especially the Q&A part with the robot voice. It's like, where do you live now? Yes, I do. It's just like one of those things that's like very Momoclo.
I love the lyrics of the song too. Like the song's theme is like how students, if you're going to Japan, like you have to finish your summer vacation homework. So it's like the lyrics kind of mimic like you trying to like the last day before school starts again, like trying to finish your homework. So you have like lyrics like X plus Y equals see ya. like I don't care, just get this stuff done.
Right, that's why it's like yabai.
Yeah. So it's a really fun, playful song. I sing this song like I remember seeing the concert. I don't know which year it was, but when they performed this, one of their summer concerts, and like everyone's just jumping. I think they have the water guns out and like everyone just
That's
jumps.
probably the big summer concert.
Yeah, I forget which year it was, but like this song live looked so much fun. I was in the crowd.
It is super fun. This is one of the best live songs I think they have.
We'll talk about Mirai Bowl. Mirai Bowl is a good one.
Mirai Bowl, I feel, is hella fun.
Yeah.
And to me, this is like peak dumb Momoclo. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? It's like, it's stupid and fun and like super cute, right? It's one of those songs, like you just listen to it, you're just like, it's not, there's no meaning behind it. It's just dumb and fun. And to me, this is like, when I think of like that side of Momoclo, to me, it's usually Mirai Bowl that like pops in my head.
I like the contrast between the like verse sections and the chorus sections, right? The verse sections are very like cute and bubbly and stuff, but then the chorus is all festive. It gets like kind of double time, right? Like the tempo picks up.
Yeah.
And there's like fanfare, which is always good.
Yeah.
Like horns and trumpets and stuff.
One of the probably out of the 3 to 4 singles that came out from Momoclo, like this is probably the weakest one in my opinion, but no, it's still a really good song. But there's just so many other, like Pinky Jones, which is we're gonna talk about in a little bit. That's a good single. I really like Pinky Jones. That's a really good song.
Pinky Jones, I like the sound.
Yeah, right.
It's like the rock kind of fuzzy guitar, but then you got like these like ethnic sounds, right?
The Scottish bagpipes.
Like yeah. So it's a bunch of like
it's all over the place, like tonally. Like it's just there's so much stuff going on in it, but it all works together really well.
I don't know, I can keep repeating this, but like once it gets to the chorus, it's like, yeah, dude, it all came together to this point. And it's like all their songs are like that,
Can I say one song that I didn't enjoy the chorus of? Which was, I don't know how to pronounce this. It's D no Junjo.
D no Junjo.
Yeah.
I feel like I enjoyed everything but the chorus on this one.
You don't like the dash, 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 dude? That part's so cool.
I'm the opposite. I don't really like D no Junjo. Like I'm not really a fan of this song. But the chorus, I feel, is the saving grace of it.
I think I just don't like how it changes like the vibe of like from the rest of the song. It's like a very distinct chorus from everything else.
It has like a very kind of more serious like driving sound, right? It's not as playful as the other songs.
Yeah.
Right.
I do like the strings though.
That's probably the only. Yeah, I mean, you know me, I do love strings and piano and stuff, so I thought that would save it, but nah. I don't know, something about it. I'm just not that. It's again, it's not terrible, but I'm just not that big a fan of it. But the chorus is okay.
I'm just gonna take it back to some more ethnic sounding stuff with it's Ame no Tajikara. Leans a little bit more like kind of Japanese sounding, right?
Like Indian.
I love this song. This is a really good song. I like this one quite a bit.
Just like a strong blend of everything, right?
Because it has like those drums. I was looking it up. Like they're called tabla, which is something that you like the drums and the.
It's like an Indian instrument.
It's an Indian instrument, yeah. So, the vibe comes of like Indian like folk sound with like Japanese.
Kind of like more Asian, right?
This is it's interesting because it's funny. RJ says it's your favorite. This is actually probably my least favorite song on the album. For me.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
Me and Tron always at odds, dude. Well, if you go back and watch the last episode, you two were against me on Mr. Moonlight.
I think me and Josh are just beating up on RJ, man. I think
No, for this one, I wrote down that for me it kind of drags a little. Like
yeah.
I feel like
I see what you mean.
halfway through the song, I'm like, oh, the song it's barely halfway there. I feel like I've heard so much of this.
it's a pretty long song, I guess.
It feels longer than it is because I think it's like 4 minutes around there.
Yeah, because I think though, like the way it's structured, it just repeats one section, right? And it doesn't have like the quirks like the Hyadain produced stuff, and so it's kind of long.
I just want to say, like, I do like the song, but like this album's so good. Out of the whole album, this is probably the weakest one. So I'm not saying like I don't like the song. It's just like this album from top to bottom is such a good album that like this probably if I had to pick a weakest one, the one that like was most underwhelming, it would probably be this one. But it's still a good song.
Yeah, I guess I see what you guys mean because like from the intro of the song, it sounds really cool, right? But then it doesn't really change much throughout the track, like the length. And so I can see why it drags.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wrote. Nice guitar at the beginning, and it starts mixing the genres, but then by the middle, it sort of starts dragging for me. So I think that nails it on the head.
We got a few like kind of just straightforward songs too, like Orange Noto. Sounds pretty straightforward, right? Like there's no weird stuff going on.
I like
in
it.
this track.
I like it a lot though.
Very idle song.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
It's
Like-
it's not that
like you're
it's
saying,
bad, you know.
To me, it's like a really straightforward pop song. Like it's just like a straightforward kind of pop song that you would hear from like a different kind of pop group, even. And then of course, when you get to the chorus, it's more of an idly chorus. I really like the sound of it. So
It's like a nice like you can sing along to it, especially in the chorus parts, right? It's very nice melodically. So I think even though it's very kind of straightforward, doesn't have any of the quirks that the other tracks have, it's still like a solid.
which makes sense because this is one of the older songs. This is like this is during their indie days. So those like basic composition, like straightforward songs, are what you expect from like groups that are like just coming out, indies doing like live events in front of 20 people in the park. You know, you want those like basic, easygoing songs, which is what Orange Note is. So it makes sense why it feels like that.
For me, since it came back from the song before that, it kind of dragged. For me, I feel like after listening to that song, I had to like readjust myself to listening to the song, and I feel like I got there when the chorus hit. Like I feel like the beginning was a little like, I don't know if it's slow. I wrote down it's like I'm watching an anime ending, and then like but then when it gets to the chorus, that's when it starts picking up, and that's when I start enjoying it.
Dude, it's all about the chorus, man. Right? It seems it's like very standard, It's like, okay, yeah, it's an idol song, and then the melodies in the chorus are what hooks me at least. The other song that's pretty straightforward is Stardust Serenade, right? It's a different style compared to Orange Note, but there's nothing weird about that song either. It's just kind of it's nice and quaint sounding.
to me, Stardust Serenade is the anime ending.
Which is funny because there's just so many songs on this album that are anime openings,
Yeah,
endings,
exactly.
and this one is not one of them.
Yeah.
Which is
But to me, this is the one that sounds like a traditional like anime closing. Like I hear it and I feel like, oh, things are over. like it just has that tone to it. It's to me, this is one of the weaker songs on the album. It's it's just kind of there. It's not bad, but if it wasn't there, I wouldn't be upset about it.
Yeah, I wrote down for this one, it might be too cute for me. Because usually I don't really go into like the cute sounding songs or anything like that, like too idly sounding. So for this one, I think for me personally, it was one of the weaker points.
Yeah, I can see that. I do like how they kind of layer their vocals in the chorus parts though. Yeah, there's a little something there. But yeah, overall, I think it's just a bit too straightforward. The tempo is not as high, I guess. So the energy it's not as energetic.
Is it that it's not experimental? Like it's more like something safe, do you think?
Yeah, it's just safe. Is this also that's which is fine, right?
Yeah, which you need in an album like this. I think you need someone that's just straightforward, like
to kind of like bring it back down and not just like be high off the energy all the time. You know what I mean?
I really like the song actually, which is it's up my alley.
Yeah, so I think like the more straightforward songs are like necessary, I guess, to kind of balance it out a bit.
All right, well, now that we talked about all the songs, what would you guys rate it?
I'll give it a 8 out of 10.
Oh,
Very good. It's a very good, very well structured album. Most of the tracks are very good. There's just a few on there that just don't quite do it for me. Stardust Serenade, like we just mentioned. Kimi no Ato, like I said earlier, and then Kono Uta to me is kind of meh as well. So it kind of brings it down a little. But the strong points on this album are really strong, like Ikuze and Z Densetsu, and especially Nippon Banzai. Like those three to me are the best and are very iconic Momoclo songs. And so yeah, 8 out of 10, strong, very strong.
and remember, this 1 out of 10 isn't like a grade scale. It's 1 being no one should ever listen to this, 5 being it's an average album, and 10 being it's the best album.
Yeah, so 8 is actually really good.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll also give it an 8 out of 10.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the parts I really like. It's very hyperactive and quirky. There's a lot of stuff going on if you like listen to it kind of deeply. Right? There's so many layers in these tracks, like the arrangements, and it's like very dense. So many like different sounds, mostly from the Hyadain produced tracks. But yeah, like when I listened to it the first time, it was almost too much, kind of.
Overwhelming.
Yeah, almost overwhelming. Just because there's so many like different sounds going on. But after listening to it again and like paying more attention to the arrangement, I can appreciate there's like a lot of stuff going on. Even the more straightforward stuff have very nice melodies, especially in the chorus. Right? You can see like they take a lot of inspiration from their contemporaries, right? Like other idol groups. And just like incorporate those styles into their own, which is really cool. And just kind of like blends everything kind of seamlessly, right? So yeah, I mean, like from their music to like their visuals and their performances, I think like everything goes together. There's like they're just very like complete as a package, right? Like some idol groups do. Like, oh, look at that gap, they look like this, but they do this kind of music, right? But Momoclo is like, yeah, that's what they look like. That's the music that they make or whatever, it's like very, complete, I guess. So yeah, 8 out of 10.
I really like this album. This is probably one of the better idol albums I've listened to over the course of my idol fandom. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Oh.
So this is like I said, what I talked about earlier, like from 1 to 13, all the album tracks are just really good. How they decide to put the certain track lists and composing the track list is really good on their part. Like I said, there's so many bangers in here, and there really is not a weak song. Like the previous albums that we reviewed, there were a couple songs that are like, all right, I can instantly hit skip on this and like I'll be okay. I don't need to listen to the song, but all the songs on this album are just really good for the most part, because it kind of goes back to like what my preferences for idol music is. Like I love the Genki upbeat pop, almost too sugary, catchy hooks and catchy choruses, and like literally this album has everything in it. There's some elements to almost every song that kind of follows along that. So yeah, overall one of the better, I'd say like a top 3 or top 5 album in my across the idol industry for me. So yeah, really good album. 9 out of 10.
All right, for me, actually, I think this is really like the foundation of their Z sound coming up, and there's a lot of classic songs in here, as you guys mentioned. To me, I feel like there's moments where it kind of drags a little bit. Like maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe my taste. And then like, for me, I think I kind of prefer their newer stuff a little bit more. But there's still some in here that are like classics, like you can't go wrong. You can't never skip it, they come up. So I do have to give it credit for that. But for me, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.
Whoa.
Totally he was gonna say all this good stuff, and it's like a 6. What?
You gotta explain yourself,
man.
because I feel like your tone was the same as Zach for the last 3 albums, and you never gave him a 6.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Go
for me,
ahead.
I feel like it's like, how the Baby Metal one had a lot of genre mixing. This one has a bit of that, but I feel like for me, I can't keep up with it. And then I don't go much with that cutesy kind of like more idly
It's
singing.
too dense.
So like I feel like it's a lot of dense, plus it's like a lot of whipped cream on top with the idol singing. And for me, that's not really the style that I go for. Like maybe I go for a little bit deeper vocals, or maybe a little bit more like a constant energy that it has throughout. Like I mentioned in some of the songs that the chorus was different from the melody, or like all of a sudden they switched from different instruments like that. And I feel like it was a little bit too much all over the place for me. And then compared to the sound they have now, I think I'm just doing like a little bit of a comparison too. And I think I enjoy their newer songs a little bit more than I did these. Though I do enjoy like Wani to Shampoo, I feel like, is gonna be like one of my favorite songs that I listen to. But I feel like other than the top 3, I feel like the rest were just like average.
Oh.
I just remember things I forgot to mention. You know how they have like really good B-sides from the last, like the first, I don't know, 2, 3, like Pinky Jones, the last like double B-side. Yo, if those tracks were in this album, I'd give it a 10.
Oh, wow.
Like Chai Max
Chai Max?
and Coconuts.
Chai Max.
Oh my god, dude.
Coconuts is good.
Coconuts. That's the Mandela effect. I thought Coconuts was a single. I remember it was a.
No, see, yeah, like
Same
I
with
always thought
Chai
that was
Max, even though technically Chai
Coconuts
Max is
had
listed as a
a music
double A
video, right?
yeah.
So
That's the thing, like it wasn't included.
oh man,
Yeah, Coconuts probably would have brought it up a point.
Oh,
such a good
Yeah,
song.
like the tracks like those, I like forget they're not like singles or like they're not in anything, right? They're just on their respective. Yeah, like Hashire, like where are those tracks? They're B-sides.
I thought Coconut was a single.
Yeah, those 3 in particular, Hashire, Chai Max, and Coconuts, are like some of the most popular Momoiro Clover songs.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just there on the singles. You know, they put those in Battle and Romance. It gave us some high scores right
Yeah,
there.
it definitely would have gotten a higher score from me.
Yeah.
Yes, adding that all together, that is a 7.7 out of 10, which brings it up to an 8 out of 10.
Oh, not bad at all. Josh is the one who brought it
I'm the one that brought it down.
Josh,
You're
Josh
welcome.
taking it, dude.
Damn, dude.
9 out of 10 helped
6.
bring it out of 7, brought it up to an 8.
So there we go, 8 out of 10 from us. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like. And if you disagree with me or anyone else here, go
Yes.
ahead and leave that down in the comments below. I think I can be argued to a 7, honestly.
I thought you were going to a 7. Like when you were talking, I was like, oh, he's gonna give it like a 7.
No, I was
Did
like
not
between
ex-
7 and 6,
Did
to be
not
honest.
expect a 6.
If we
I was between
allowed-
7 and 6. I was between 7 and
Wait.
6.
Nice swerve, Mr. Box.
Could have been a 6.5.
Damn.
Yeah, but if you enjoyed it, please leave a comment down below, leave your likes, and don't forget to share this video to people who you think might enjoy this. But that is all for us this time. Catch us on the next album discussion or whatever this is called.